YouTube, how are we doing? Back again with the sort of prep series that I'm doing at the minute. So I'm currently coming up to 9 weeks out now, and yeah, it's the first sort of refeed of prep. So body weight has climbed down quite nicely over the last sort of 3 days or so. I've dropped about 1.4 kilos from Monday through to Saturday, sorry. And yeah, the physique is starting to sort of flatten off quite a bit now, which is good, like it does happen. So yeah, refeeds have now been implemented. So yeah, I'll go into that in a little bit, but today is a leg day and I'm going to run you through what I am doing. So during this session, it's going to be a de-volume session because my legs are a little bit tired. They look a little bit fragile, so we don't want to be sort of blasting a load of volume today, because that's not going to help the recovery process and getting them fresher so we can push on again. So de-volume is 1 set pretty much across the board. I do have arms at the start with biceps, always do 4 sets. So I'm going to continue with just the 4 sets as normal, but the rest of the leg work is all going to be reduced volume. So normally I'll do 2 sets on like a hip thrust, for instance. That's just going to be 1 today. Hamstring curl, same again, that would be 1 set. Calves, I'll normally do 3, so that would be pulled down to 2. You get the drift, and we're just going to be freshen up. So it's still going to be a good session, it's still going to be intense, I'm still going to be taking every movement to failure and with the intensity that is required. However, it's just not going to be as much volume, so it'll still be a good session and I'm looking forward to it. So as you're probably seeing now, me flicking my legs in the air, just always like to sort of warm up my adductors, abductors, and get everything sort of firing before my session. And I don't normally do stretching like this, I wouldn't recommend it, but I am a little bit tighter. I normally do like dynamic stretches because that actually mimics some movements that I am doing, especially for the hamstrings. But if I'm a little bit tight, then I'll just do a little bit of a stretch and then I'll go into like a dynamic stretch before I head into my leg work. So I will catch you in a second when I'm going to kick off biceps. Four sets here. So I either do it standing or with a bench. The reason for the bench just offers more stability, takes my shoulders more so out of the movement, and I can just focus solely on the biceps. But to be fair, it still feels very good standing. Just need to be a little bit more strict with it. So 4 sets here, I do 2, maybe 3 in this sort of set up in this position, and then what I do is either 1 or 2 sets, more so in the lengthened range, where I'll show you in a minute, but essentially it's just a drag curl, so I can spend time in the lengthened and also spend more time in the short. So 4 sets here, anywhere between 8 to 12, and then I'll do more of a 12 to 15 for the 3rd set.
Problem is that's 10 minutes. I get home and then the game starts, so it's tense. So no, I want to give it a miss.
That is a spicy movement. Arms are fully blown, absolutely brimmed. Right, so that is the bicep work done for the start of the session. So I always start with biceps at the start because they are still a shit body part. They are better, yes, they're improving, but they still need a lot of work. So I always put them at the start. I do have arms, well, biceps tagged at the end of pull and triceps at the end of legs as well on a different day. So as you can see there, I try and put it so they're fresher in other movements. Hence why I've started with biceps before I get onto the leg work now. And also with that drag curl variation, spend time both in that lengthened range and that short range. If you're someone who struggles to connect with their biceps and then find that you're not really leaving with much of a pump, try and spend time in both ranges, contract very hard at the top, and then keep tension through the bicep through the whole set. So yeah, kicking off now with adductors, one set, 10 to 14, and I'm gonna spend time in the shortened range on this setup. Let's go. Right then, exercise 2 of, what's going on here? Exercise 2 of the leg day. So I'd normally, like I said, I normally do 2 sets on here, but I'm just doing 1 today. And I'd normally do 2 legs, so together to begin with, and then I'll go onto a single leg. But today, this keeps moving. What is going on? Yeah, but today I'm just gonna do single leg, just so I can isolate it a little bit more. And Harry, why have you got this? May you ask. Well, the reason why I have got this is because I'm a skinny boy now, and I'm sort of in between sizes with this. So if you are finding that you are in between sizes, when you are putting the leg pad down, then grab yourself a mat and lock your ass in and then get on with it. So anywhere between 10 to 15 here. absolutely cooked. Right, as you would have seen, I just wrapped up with RDL. I didn't record beforehand because I did lose a rep last week. And in order for me to get that back, I had to lock the fuck in. We got it though, as you would have seen, got 7 reps, happy with it. And it was definitely an improvement from last week. I'm not sure why I lost a rep last week. I think my setup wasn't quite right. I also wasn't sort of mentally stimulated, if that makes sense, for the set as well. I went into it and I sort of like second guessed myself if I could actually get 7 or not. And as soon as you second guess yourself, that's it, you've lost the set already. And that's one thing I would always say with like heavy compounds, especially with a diet phase and to the latter stages of a diet phase. Yes, your food is lower and you're just a little bit more tired than normal. However, don't let that interfere with your progress and your sets. It just means you have to take a little bit more time. You might have to put on a song with a mental drop or think of something a little bit more deep. Like, it does sometimes get like that. And as a result, I took myself to that place and I got 7 reps. So that is done. Now I roll on to hip thrust, just 1 set here, 8, anywhere between 8 to 12. So normally it would be an 8 to 10, 12 to 15, but I'm going to go anywhere between 8 to 12 for this one. And yeah, got 4 plates and a little 1.25. And I hit this and then we'll move on to our quad part of this session. So this one's more of a glute, hamstring, bicep top up. And then literally at the very end is just 1 set of leg extension, 1 set of single leg press just to top up the quads, as I got more of a quad bias leg day on my Wednesday session. So let's get it. Ooh, bunions are fried. Right, if you leave that movement and your glutes don't feel worked, you haven't worked them. Because if you do it right, that burns bad. Right, let's get on to quads. Leg extension, AKA cause as much pain as possible. So I've got my essential tools here. Phone for music, obviously. I've got wrist straps to strap myself in. I've also then got a seat belt which I wrap around my waist to keep my hips pinned into the seat. You've probably seen this from all your favorite influencers run this up, but it honestly is a game changer, especially if you are going a little bit heavier than your body weight. So for instance, this is 100 well, it hasn't actually got a number on it, I think it's like 116. I'm 80 kilos, so that will fly me out the seat, and then I won't be able to get a lot of contraction through my quads. So keeping my hips pinned into the pad allows me to do so. So yeah, I'm just gonna crack on with this now and build some quads. Just a one set. One sheet, plenty. Right, last quad exercise of today. Single leg press. So with this movement, what I'm going to try and do is keep it as continuous as possible to keep tension through the quads and only break once. So the objective is essentially to have soft knees. What I mean by soft knees is that as you get to the top, don't lock out your knee. A slight bend throughout the whole entirety of the set. Have one break at the top when I really need it, and then finish off the last couple of reps. So yeah, let's get it cracking. One. Yes guys, back from the gym now. It was a very good leg day. After legs, I then done PT for an hour, and then I finally made it back home. So as I briefly spoke about at the start of the video, it is a high day. This is my second high day. I had one yesterday being Friday, today being Saturday, and it is consistent of 220 protein, 450 grams of carbs, and then 50 grams of fat. My baseline carbs is normally 250, so it's a nice sort of 200 gram increase from my normal baseline diet, which is nice. It's not really touching the size, if I'm being honest. When you are hungry and you start to eat, it just goes down so easily. But that's a good thing. At the end of the day, I don't really want to be force feeding myself, because it does feel quite bizarre in your midsection, and it's weird to actually feel like you've got a fuller stomach. I'm not nowhere near full, but a fuller stomach does feel a little bit weird. But yeah, what I have got here, as I angle it down in this lovely purple bowl, is 90 grams of cream of rice, 70 grams of blueberries / raspberries, and then like 43 grams of whey. I know, very precise. So across the day, it's going to be between 80 to 90 grams of carbs sort of evenly distributed between each meal. And then I've also got, I forgot, no way. So in here should be 10 grams of nut butter as well. So I've got basically 10 grams of fat per meal. I've got between 90 to 80 grams of carbs per meal. And this is going to be evenly split. So I can't forget that, because that is the best part. Pippa nut peanut butter is going to get dolloped on there. So banging. So this would be meal number 2. The first meal you would have seen this morning. Did I put it in? I don't think I did actually, but you guys have seen it anyway. It stays the same. All that is different is the sourdough amount. So before I had 110 grams and then I bumped that up to 180. Protein has been pulled down slightly as well, because we don't need to be filling up unnecessary room within my stomach with protein right now. Essentially what this is doing for the high day is to start refreshing my body and put more carbohydrates into the muscles, and protein isn't going to do that. So pull back protein, and then it will go back up to 240 once I'm back on baseline diet, which will be tomorrow. Also, what's going on with this refeed sort of week, well, 2 days, is cardio was at 7 lots of 20 minutes. That's been completely removed. I've then got 12k steps reduced to now 8k, sorry. So 12.5, well, 12k to 8k steps. And then that's it. Just feet up and chill as much as I possibly can. So the idea of this refeed is literally just to freshen up my physique. So the reason why we have a refeed is there's 3 sort of, there could be more points, but these are the 3 points I normally go off. Number 1, body weight is stalling. You're not seeing consistent changes despite you making changes. So it might mean that you need to get yourself out of that hole to be able to push on again. Number 2, it could be you are getting too flat, and if you have a flat physique for a long period of time, you could run the risk of losing muscle tissue, which is far from the objective during a prep. So you might need to fill up them glycogen stores again. And point number 3 is your rate of loss is too much. So if you're dropping anywhere from 2 to 3% of your body weight, like that's a lot to be shifting for a prolonged period of time, and especially if you're towards the latter end of your diet phase, which I'm 9 weeks out. I've still got a bit of time, of course, but not to say my rate of loss was flying off, because that isn't to do with me. But if your rate of loss is too strong, then yeah, again, you run the risk of losing muscle tissue. So you need to slow that rate of loss down so you don't, yeah, again, flatten off too much as well. So my reasoning is I am flat, and it's the flattest I've been all prep. So it's time to fill up, gather a little bit of data as well. So then when we start to go into peak weeks, we know exactly the amount of food we need to be toggling with to bring up my fullest and biggest look. And this isn't going to bring me to my fullest look on this food, but what it is going to do is going to help get me out of that prep hole, and it's going to allow me to have a little bit more energy as I then push on for next week. So that's what we're doing. But I'm absolutely starving. I'm going to demolish this, put my peanut butter on, and then I'll show you meal number 3 when I get to it. Yes, guys, back with meal number 3. So what I've got in here is a fly trying to get in my food. I know it's delicious. So what I've got is 90 grams of basmati rice, 175 grams of 5% beef mince, 50 grams of sauerkraut, and then 100 grams of veg. Oh, these flies, man, absolutely doing my head in. So on there as well, I've got 15 grams of sauce, sort of roughly evenly split between mustard and then reduced sugar ketchup. So this is going to go down the hatch. As mentioned, each meal is going to be anywhere between 80 grams to 90 grams of carbs, evenly distributed. So this will go down now. So I don't have any direct fat sources with this one, just the fat from the beef itself. And then in my next 2 meals, I've got additional fats with nut butters and with, I believe it's extra virgin olive oil potentially. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go for another rice meal or I'm going to go for cream of rice, because recently I purchased the Train by JP caramel biscuit, I believe it is, and that is ridiculous. It generally tastes like Biscoff, and who doesn't love Biscoff? It's very addictive. So I'm pretty certain I'm going to swap out a rice meal for that instead. but we'll see. So if that is the case, then obviously I'm not gonna have extra virgin olive oil on my cream of rice. That'd be pretty grim. So yeah, it'd be nut butter in that meal and then nut butter in the other meal. But yeah, we'll see. Well, I'm gonna eat this because I'm hungry, and I will show you meal number 4 when we get there and what we decide to eat. I'm in the cinema watching Toy Story. I've got cream of rice, chicken, banana, and some lovely peanut butter.
Why? It's a bonus. I deserve a bonus.
Very good, very nice. Ivy. Hello? Hello? Yes guys, you now join me many hours later. So managed to get a few clips while I was out, but yeah, me and Kate, or Kate and I, so I should say, decided to do like a spontaneous date night. So we went to this arcade sort of thing that's near us, where they have like bowling alleys, they have all these sort of older arcade games. It's pretty cool, never been there before, but that's just near our local town. So we done that, and then we also decided to go and watch Toy Story. So we brought our meals, which I did show you. I don't know if you heard me or not, but yeah, I had cream of rice in the end, did opt for that, and it was banging. I think it was like 95 grams cream of rice, 35 grams of whey, then chicken as well. Actually, no, I didn't. What I'm chatting waffle. I had 95 grams of cream of rice, 140 grams of chicken, and then it was 50 grams banana and 12 grams of peanut butter in that meal. And now I've got oats, the best meal of the day, as you guys probably know by now, which is currently being cooked at the moment. With Toy Story as well, a little bit of an overview. I thought it was light, it's quite nice. I felt like it was basically educating adults to say, yeah, don't rely on these new sort of iPads and laptops to entertain your kids, and yeah, still give them toys. That's basically what it was the whole time. It was still good. Really enjoyed the movie, and it was nice to have a little bit of downtime outside of the gym. So just gonna wait for these oats to cook, which should be ready any second now. Make the whey paste and then be finishing up for the day. So that will conclude almost like this full day of eating. I don't need to show you the oats. It's not really a full day of eating. I'm just showing you some of my meals, to be honest, but it's more so going over my training session, where I'm at currently 9 weeks out tomorrow for the first show. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you could please like, subscribe, and I will catch you for the next video.